With Season 2 of Black Ops Cold War, Treyarch has given us zombie players a lot to grind. If you call back to when Black Ops Cold War released, you remember that us zombie players had to grind crystals by getting to milestone rounds. Then we use these crystals to unlock tiers on things like our perks, our field upgrades, our ammo mods, and our weapon classes. With Season 2 of Black Ops Cold War, they put the tier limit up to 5, so everything has a new ability. Along with this, they've added in a few new things like a new field upgrade and a new ammo mod. In today's video, folks, we're going to be interested in the perks only, and that is going to be Deadshot Daiquiri. Now, we all know Deadshot. Deadshot was introduced way back into Call of the Dead, I believe, and it's made its way into a lot of the maps ever since. But before we get any further into Deadshot Daiquiri, if you haven't left a like yet, make sure to do so if you want to show your support. Also, subscribe if you aren't already for more zombies content. But with that said, let's get straight into the topic. So first of all, what I think we need to do is we need to go over the tiers of Deadshot Daiquiri to find out what it fully does from start to finish. The base version of Deadshot Daiquiri reads as follows. Aiming down sight moves to enemy critical locations. Remove scope sway. This is what Deadshot Daiquiri used to do in the older games pretty much, where it aimed to the zombie's head and that'd be pretty much it. So it can only go up from here, so let's move on to tier 1. What tier 1 does is deals 100% extra critical damage if the enemy is at full health, so this is probably one of the better upgrades out of all the upgrades it has. Essentially, when a zombie is at full health, when you take a headshot to it, it will do a lot more damage, 100% to be precise. And to be completely honest, I feel like this one should be higher up. I'm not bothered that it's here. It's just that if we're going with a tier system and each tier kind of progressively gets better, I feel like this one is one of the better ones. But with that said, let's move on to tier 2, which increased damage against armor pieces by 50%. So when you shoot armor, it's going to do 50% more damage. Nothing too crazy. I'm sure it could help in them higher rounds where you're trying to get a zombie out your face. But yeah, that is what tier 2 does. Moving on to tier 3, reduce hip fire spread. So essentially when you're running and you're not aiming in, it'll keep them crosshairs a bit tighter in, and your bullets won't be going so much all over the place. I quite like doing this on the run when I'm running about and I'm not like, camping or anything. When I'm trying to get my perks and stuff again once I go down. So that one's pretty basic, but it still is very good. Moving on to the first new tier, tier 4, increase critical bonus damage to 10%. So what this is going to do, obviously as you read here, it's going to increase the critical bonus damage to the 10%. So you're going to get that little bit more. So it will help bit by bit, so that's quite good. Now it's time for tier 5, so this is the one you've all came for, so let's just get into it. Each consecutive hit on the same enemy deals 2% more damage to the maximum of 20 damage. So the idea of this then is the more bullets you put into one enemy, the more damage you're going to end up doing. And to be quite honest, I feel like this one's a bit underwhelming for a tier 5. I feel like the deal 100 extra critical damage should be up top, to be quite honest with you. Because don't get me wrong, this one's good, but there are many reasons why it's not good as well. One being is on the higher rounds, you can't keep one zombie separated from the other because they all kind of just get huddled into a big ball. Now, I'm sure if you're running and a zombie spawns in front of you and you just two-shot it, I'm using pistol gameplay in the background to show the power of the perk, and then you'll be seeing some gameplay later on with me not using the perk to kind of compare it. But going back to the main topic for today's video, it just seems a bit underwhelming, to be quite honest. I'm not bashing it anyway, like the perk itself is good. Deadshot Daiquiri is a very good perk, and I think it's very useful in this game, especially for people that are grinding Dark Ether, or you're just trying to level up your weapons or anything. So if you're using normal weapons, this perk is very useful and it makes your weapon 100 times better. Because a lot of the weapons in this game don't do a lot of damage, so with having Deadshot and getting them critical hits on the head, that's what really makes it the best perk in the game as far as for weapons. Your weapons are going to do so much better with this perk, and this perk and weapons, normal weapons, go hand in hand, and I can really respect that and appreciate that. It's just, as it goes up, it seems like the tiers kind of get worse and worse. It feels like this should be reversed. Like, if I seen this in reverse, I think that'd make a lot more sense than the way it is now. So if tier 5 was do 100% extra critical damage, tier 4 was increased damage against armor pieces, tier 3 is again hip fire spread, tier 2 would be increased critical bonus damage 10%, and then the tier 1 would be each consecutive hit on a zombie, 2% more damage, up to 20% more damage. If you remember that episode of South Park where they do the food pyramid bit and then they have to turn it upside down because they had it wrong the whole time and all the unhealthy stuff was really healthy to eat for some reason, it's kind of like that. But is there any way we can make Deadshot Daiquiri better if they add future tiers? And my answer to that is absolutely. One thing we can do is, if you recall back to Infinite Warfare Zombies, I'm pretty sure it was Deadshot Daiquiri in that game, but there was a perk that allowed your weapon to have little to no recoil, and the iron sights would stay in one space. Now, as far as actual efficiency goes, this does a bit, right? It's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely better than it was before. I think a possible tier 6 could be this, just to add in a bit more variety to the perk, because a lot of the perk is just damage towards the head and little things like that, which I can again respect. That's what Deadshot Daiquiri should be, but I don't think it can get any better compared to what it is now without breaking the perk, because I'm pretty sure at some point they're going to add in double tap, and that'll probably add in double damage and stuff as well. So by them doing that, Deadshot Daiquiri is going to be a lot better, and probably in the future of the game as well, you're going to be able to find yourself just camping on a corner with normal weapons, and wonder weapons will probably be irrelevant because normal weapons kill in one shot to the head. So my thing is, I don't want to add any more damage multipliers or anything to this perk. I want to add other abilities that are fun and useful to use. So adding no recoil I think would be pretty cash money personally myself. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about that one. But at tier 7, honestly, I'm a bit baffled. I don't know what we could do to make this better. A few small ideas that come to mind are perhaps maybe we could do something incorporating the headshots. And I don't mean again by damage or anything, because I think the damage is roughly just there. But I think what we could do is, if you get headshots and you get kills with headshots, perhaps you're rewarded in some way or some form. Maybe perhaps you get a lot more points than normal, or you get drops that come in a lot more frequently if you get them headshots. Or maybe what they could end up doing with the perk is perhaps every time you get a headshot, there is a tiny % chance that a zombie will randomly die. Now, this is something that Ring of Fire, the tier 5 effect, does. That's a little hint to a future video for all you guys that make it all the way through the video. And if you've done that already, thank you so much. I appreciate the support, and the more you watch these videos, the better they get pushed out, so I do appreciate it. Again, getting back to the topic, sorry I keep getting off topic. With the tier 7, yeah, I could definitely see perhaps some sort of insta-kill effect where randomly a zombie will die instantly. I think that'd be pretty cool, and if they kind of have a certain rate of it happening, it wouldn't be too overpowered. But I think if they were to do that, it'd have to be for a headshot, not just normal body kills. For a headshot, I think that's pretty fair. Something else they could end up doing as well, I don't know if they would do this, maybe they add in a new perk completely, or maybe this is something more for maybe speed cola. But what they could do is, since Deadshot is more of an ammo perk for making guns better, maybe they could do something with the actual ammo in the weapon. Perhaps maybe when a weapon is pulled out and you shoot it and you put it back in, and then you take it back out, it'll be reloaded. This kind of happened in Black Ops 4 Bandolier Bandit, or maybe perhaps there could be a special effect where if you get enough kills in a row, it'll start taking ammo from your stock instead of your actual mag. That'd be pretty cool. If I was going to review Deadshot Daiquiri from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a solid 7. It's really good with the tiers it's gotten, but again, I think the tiers are just kind of misbalanced. I feel like the bottom one should be at the top and the top one should be at the bottom. But that's just my personal opinion. If you made it through this video, thank you so much. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed. Also subscribe for more zombies content. Check out all the links in the description as well. And with that said, guys, I'll see yous in the next one. Bye.